Back in the mug.
And we are live.
Just remember to give me a recap. Sorry.
Yeah, John is gone and we are live, which is a good start. Real Raven said he would join us too, so I hope he does.
To give me a recap. Sorry.
Yeah, John is gone and we are live, which is a good start. Real Raven said he would join us too. Sorry, that's a bad start again. Oh man, the first of the year and it's already a joke. Anyway, a repat. What do you mean what a repat? I don't know. Time will tell. Welcome everyone to the first Modwains House of Fun in 2019. And I know that a lot of people make videos looking back at the last year, and they do this usually in the last weeks of the year. I haven't, I won't, but I like to make a video looking forward. And I thought, you know what? Looking forward may actually be a good hangout topic. Considering the amount of people that are here, I probably was wrong, but I'm going to go there anyway. So if we look into 2019, what are the things we like to change, both in the world and in ourselves? I mean, are there things that we say, this is something that we could do? And hi there, Davey. Happy New Year, mate. At least there are people watching now. Yay! Don't feel so very lonely. So are there things that we can do to change our society and our life in itself? Because people like to look back and say, oh, well, this I could have done better and that I could have done better. And then during New Year's Eve, they make resolutions which usually suffer great defeat within the first few weeks after New Year's Day. I don't want to do resolutions, but I do kind of like to think of, okay, it would be nice if I were able to do this, or it would be nice if I were able to do that. Something like how we ourselves can push ourselves forward in a way in trying to change, not so much the greater world. Obviously, we like to change the world, but that's not going to go well. So let's try to see what we can do in our direct vicinity. I resolve to do all in my power to fuck the government this year. Well, okay. Not sure if that's a funny way to go, John, but there you go. What am I planning to do? Let's start with me, because John is still eating. And there's only the two of us here because Real Raven hasn't joined us yet. What do I plan to do differently in the coming year? Well, I would really like to spend more time trying to arrange for hangouts, because most of my hangouts lately have been rather off the cuff, which is fun, which is interesting, but at the same time, not very useful. I would also like to spend more time trying to get through my education. Not a lot of people know this, but I started an education on social works, which, in my humble opinion, is a crap education, but it's going to be a paper nonetheless. So it'll give me more fuel, I guess, more ammunition to argue with the social justice idiots. And it's so weird to do an education just for that. And I won't lie, I won't do it just for that. Because the funny part is that I live in a country where the level of education means a lot. So once I have that, my level of education has gone up. And I am more likely to be able to get better paying jobs than the job I'm already doing. But then again, the job I'm already doing basically is at the same level as what a social work diploma would allow me to. And I've been doing it for 20 years. So that would say I would now get a diploma to do the job that I've been doing for the last 20 years. Yeah, it's a little bit complicated like that. But anyway, it gives me credence, I guess. I mean, I know what I'm talking about. But then I can say I know what I'm talking about because I have, well, look at my authority. It's silly, I know. But at the same time, I do kind of hope, I do kind of want to work on working more on my education. And at the same time, I also do kind of want to work more on my YouTube channel. I want to and invite discussions. People don't have to agree with me. I know I can be very strong in my opinions, but I'm strong in my opinions not so much because I don't like people, but more because if you have an opinion, you better know why, and you're able to defend it. And if you can't defend your opinion, then what is it worth? Oh, congratulations, Davey. You finally got qualified for what you've been doing for 20 years. It's weird, though, if you get qualifications and you're like, okay, I've been doing the job. Now I'm doing the studying for the job. And I'm pissed off at the study books because they're blatantly wrong. But I have to tell them what they want to hear from their books, even though I know in reality, I will never use it again. I'm not quite sure what you got qualified for, but I'm curious if this is true for you too, Davey, that you had an education and basically you're like, okay, that's several hours of the day wasted on an education I have for no other reason than administrative purposes. Just could be me. Hey, Real Raven, welcome for joining, mate.
Hi, Modwains. Listen, I got a fry up next door, so I'll be with you in 5 minutes. I just need to make sure my kitchen doesn't go on fire, and then I'll be with you, okay?
That's a good idea.
Okay, talk to you in a minute.
It's always better if your kitchen doesn't burn down.
Yeah, mine too. I always, every day, make sure my kitchen does not go in flames.
Well, Davey, I mean, I can't even go for the exams. I have to do the coursework because the exams are basically what the knowledge is needed to do my job, and it's wrong. You're actually studying, in social works, you're actually studying wrong stuff to be able to do the work. It's really, really annoying. Raven's party sounds lit. Yes, well, maybe a little bit too lit. But yeah, no, I did ask if I could go through a sped up process, which they said, oh no, you can. You can go through a sped up process. Then you have to go to school for 2 years so we can see that what you know is actually what we want you to know. And then you can do a fast course, which will cost you another year. And then you will have your diploma. Yeah, that's 3 years. I can get a normal one in that time as well. So I'm going to be pissed off either way. And in all fairness, I started in April this year, I think. And I've been fucking around with it since. So that's not helping much. I hope Carlos isn't listening in because he would be pissed about that. He's like, no, you should get your diploma. Work for it. And he's right. But okay, so this is my drive for the coming year. Work more on my education, work more on my YouTube channel, and try to prearrange these House of Fun meetings a little bit more. They have been off the cuff a lot, haven't they, lately? What do you think, John?
Think? I've been trying to avoid that for the last few weeks. I like off the cuff sometimes.
Well, I love off the cuff, to be honest, but it seems that a lot of people like more to have things.
But I just think for the streams, if there is going to be a subject, it is nice to know a little in advance so one can familiarize oneself, especially if it's something topical, because I know nothing. I don't follow the news. I don't care. It's like, oh, it's all shit. Or guess what? That's what they always tell us.
Yeah. Do I publish blogs so people can check my knowledge? Davey, I do not. Maybe I should actually. Maybe I should write stuff down and have people be able to read it. I mean, most of my videos, if not all, don't even have a script.
And we can tell. Boom. Sorry. Sorry, that was mean. That was mean. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist.
But at the others, it may be a good replacement for certificates. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. Well, the funny thing is, for the job I'm doing, I could try and do it private, because it's privately. Sorry, yes.
Sorry, am I in a grammar Nazi?
Well, I've got a good excuse. I'm not English now, am I?
Sorry.
Anyway,
Davey told me the other day in a comment that he was a grammar Nazi, and I nearly spluttered into my drink. I thought Davey's saying he's a grammar Nazi.
Hi there, Anirtak. If you send me a tweet thingy, I could send you an invite too, because people want you to join. I don't have a Twitter account though.
Yeah, sorry. Anirtak just remind me, because I just want to say, is everyone or anyone familiar with what's happening with Alicia at the moment?
The last I heard was that there were some troubles in the family.
No. Okay, her younger sister, that's a different sister, died on the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
She put up a short video, but I have no details. But obviously, it's very difficult for her, and the funeral is on Friday.
Wow.
So I just thought everyone it was all sudden. I didn't bother to dig for details, because I know myself it can be very frustrating when you have to go through it all a million times explaining to different people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she's in a bad place right now. So just to let everyone know.
Yeah, I did send her my condolences, but there's no much more I can do than that.
No, well, no.
Yeah, it's a bitch.
Yeah.
Shit happens. It's
Who are you talking about in my absence?
Alicia.
Okay, well, I was talking to her earlier, so she's going to join shortly. All right.
Well, that's cool.
Going on mute again. Talk to you later.
Okay, I send her a link. She wants to join. No, but Anirtak, do you have Twitter? If so, you can reach me at Modwain. If you send me a message at Modwain, I can send you a link and all that shit, and invite you into all sorts of shit. Maybe you don't want to. Oh, and I needed to sneeze. Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. I could use some blessing. Oh, that's so funny. People are like, yeah, but if you're an atheist, you shouldn't say bless you. Well, fuck that.
Really? I'm not switching to German.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, I'm not switching to German. Fuck that. I'm British. I'm going to say bless you, because that's in the best language on the planet.
Well, it's not, but it's in one of them anyway.
It is the best language on the planet. I'm sorry.
It is arguably not.
And how I didn't say the most spoken. I said the best. A purely subjective opinion, and therefore you cannot prove me wrong.
Well, there is that.
You can disagree. You can disagree, but you can't prove me wrong.
I can prove you wrong, but you won't accept empirical fact. So yeah, there is that.
What empirical facts for the quality of a language?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'm curious.
Okay, so what is a lock?
Sorry?
What is a lock?
What is a lock? It's a Scottish lake is one version of a lock.
So as soon as I start talking about a lock, you know what I'm talking about.
No.
See? There you have it.
No. That's a large body of water. You see, Ludicrous knows.
Hey, Ludicrous. I'm not saying it's not a large body of water, but I'm saying that the language is therefore lacking, because I could talk about a lock and you could talk about a large body of water where I'm not. There you have it.
And you're saying that there is a language that is totally free from ambiguity?
Actually, there is one.
Okay.
It's not very easy, but there is one.
Okay, so I pit ease against your ambiguity, because personally, I'll go with the ambiguity.
Hey, by the way, Ramblings, you haven't been here for a while. You want to join, mate? Oh, and if anyone else wants to join, let me know. I mean, this is So
I'm just a quick thing. Sorry, what exactly did you introduce the video at? Because I was off making my coffee, so I didn't actually. Well, I just heard you talking something about exams when I came back in.
Well, yeah, no, we're talking about education. No, though, this is where most
overrated.
Well, yeah, that too. Where most people at the end of the year start talking about all the things of the last year, and this went that way and that went this way. And then on New Year's Day, they're talking about, oh yeah, I've got this resolution, I've got that resolution. Resolutions on average don't last longer than a few weeks.
Of course. Do you know, funnily, I haven't had a New Year's resolution for decades, but this year I've got several. I don't know what they are yet. That is, I haven't encapsulated them, but I have got resolutions this year.
Well, I don't have resolutions. I have concepts in my mind. And I'm sorry that you can't join us, Ramblings. It's been a while, to be honest. And
he's got to eat. A man's got to eat. Women too, but he's a man, therefore a man's got to eat.
Hey, don't assume his gender. No.
Don't assume his gender.
I know. This is beautiful.
Tim Paul did a whole video in which he talked about someone being misgendered, and the whole video he misgendered the person being who was covered by it.
No.
So how is the Green Reich?
The Green what?
Reich.
The Green Reich?
Yeah. The Green Reich?
Germans live in a Reich. Germans live in a Reich, and he lives in Ireland, so it's a Green Reich.
The Green Reich is fine, thank you. I got a fry up.
Ah, you lucky soul. I just had some toast.
Ha! No, I had to make this because I was chatting with Alicia for ages. She was doing 2 errands today, and I was
you
chatting
do
with
know
her.
I'm jealous now because she's been promising to talk to me, and you get to talk to me.
Well,
I'm jealous.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's not.
I have to respond because we've moved on. According to a ludicrous leprechaun, his New Year's resolution is 1080, and I'm going to say, dude, get with the program. That's so 2016.
1080. Oh, that resolution. I have that too on both my screens.
We should go to, what is it? I can't remember. It's got a name. It's 4K, but it's
most places have a name. That's true.
It's bullshit anyway. 4K.
Well, in all fairness, 10p is already good enough.
I mean, seriously, I was over at Friends. And they're watching one of those newfangled Blu-ray discs. They were watching Lord of the Rings, right? One of the Lord of the Rings, and I thought, geez, that looks like a TV version. The lighting is really shit. It just looks so bad. Like it looked like you could literally see the neon lighting in the actors' faces. It looked way better in cinema, you know.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. The more you zoom in, the more the negative thing shows out. But 2160 is way... Well, yeah, no, that's... Okay, 1080 is a good idea. Never mind.
Yeah, my daughter got a 2K screen, which is not bad, but everything is tiny on it. I mean, it is, I don't know, it's probably 32 inch or something, but everything is just tiny because, 2000 pixels is a lot more than 1200,
Well, the problem is like Apple. So my iPad's got the high res, and that's okay because Apple sort of like baked it in. The problem with Windows,
Retina.
the problem with Windows is that pixels were such a scarcity. It calculates sizes in a totally different way.
Yeah.
And so Microsoft just haven't really been able to transform to a much higher resolution, because you can't sort of say, yes, I'm got this big thing and I'm going to have it at a smaller resolution. It doesn't really handle that. It says, this is 8 pixels. And therefore it's 8 pixels. And if those 8 pixels are squished together, you can't see it.
Well,
but the fonts are really small.
If you zoom in too much, you can't see the forest for the trees, so to speak. It doesn't become more nice. It doesn't become more beautiful.
Well, I mean, the whole point with the screens like the iPad is there is a resolution they've calculated, about 200, 250 for a close something you watch at a close distance, like a phone or an iPad, and that is the best your human eyesight can see, apparently. So it would never go. You'd never need to go above that because the eye.
Is that why they call it Retina? Is it? I think they call it that
probably.
Technology Retina in Apple.
Yeah, probably. But that's like the optimum. You can't. But obviously, the computer technology was coming from the opposite direction. I mean, the first screen I had was 80 characters by 25. It wasn't even in pixels. It was a character display, and it was 80 characters across.
But believe me, it was still pixels. It was 480 pixels.
No, it wasn't. No, it's before that. It wasn't.
You're talking about the old time.
Yes, I'm talking about the old technology. I mean, the first computer I had punch tape and no monitor. But once I actually got a computer with a monitor,
I challenge you, but I don't think you'd have a plasma screen. My dad had measuring equipment, which was running
what?
Analog.
Who talked about plasma screen? I said no screen.
I'm talking about plasma screens. That's a real analog screen. It has a cathode ray that actually runs over the. It's a green screen, and you could actually play a game on it as well, where you shot kind of mines up into the air, and you had the sidewind, and you had to blow up the enemy base. But it was like an oscilloscope, the same thing. But what you're talking about is probably.
I wasn't talking about anything. I was saying the old computer monitors
had pixels. They had pixels as well, John.
Well, they have pixels, but they
just had less pixels.
They didn't count in pixels. You didn't know how many pixels. It was 80 characters.
No, it was character based.
Yeah, you did know, though, because it was CGA. There was CGA, EGA, VGA. That's the different standards, right? CGA
No, I'm talking before that.
There was no before. Okay.
On the old computers, they didn't talk about those letters. They just talked about...
I know they didn't talk about them, but there was still a standard.
Then it's no good asking me about it because I didn't know.
But I know, it's CGA, believe me.
Okay.
It's the earliest standard is CGA, then EGA, then VGA, right? And that went down in pixels, and there was like a
but the VGA was
either 320 pixels or 480 pixels width. And that's where you crammed in your 80 characters, right? Into those 320 or 480 pixels.
Well, except there was no pixel addressing.
Well, there were pixels, but yeah, you didn't get
there was
access
no
to them.
Pixel addressing. I didn't say there were no pixels. I said there was no pixel addressing.
Because you're a noob and you're only operating with BASIC and not with the actual pixels.
No, I wasn't operating in BASIC. I used first programming language I used was COBOL. I also used Fortran.
It's a database language.
Pascal. No.
COBOL is, yeah.
No. Common business-oriented language, and it was just a regular programming language.
Well, we learned it at college and from our database professor. And
I'm sure your database professor was able to use COBOL that way, but it wasn't a specifically database language. It had no SQL. It had no of that stuff.
Okay. Maybe the terminal was just in COBOL.
We are talking about how we could improve our lives and our world around us, but not so much in a resolution type of way, but more in a like of do.
I like it.
Warped, Happy New Year to you too, man. And
woman, she's a woman.
I don't care on the
Still
internet.
Happy New Year.
I'm
She's
not
got sons and everything.
Sexist.
I'm not a sexist, but online.
No, but you called her a man.
Because online everyone is a dude. That way you don't have to worry
No,
about.
everyone's a guy, but not a dude and not a man.
Well, a woman or a wereman? You know, there's two types of men: wereman and woman.
Well, I blame the Great Vowel Shift.
See,
Sometime in the Middle Ages.
You guys are complicating things. You don't have to complicate it. As long as you think everyone is the same sex as you are.
No. I'm happy to assume everyone's the same gender as I am, but not their sex. Two sexes, half of the other.
But not online, because you don't want to have romance.
What's romance got to do with it?
And that's why you don't need it.
No. Recognizing someone's sex has nothing to do with romance.
It comes in there, though. You know it does.
No. You're doing it wrong then.
Anyway.
In all the people you've ever met, maybe half of them might be the other sex. But of all those, there's a tiny minority you would ever be interested in sexually, right?
Oh, yeah, no.
So the default is to have a non-sexual view of people.
Yeah, so everyone is a dude.
No, but you don't need to see them as dudes to do that. It's just a frame of mind. It's just to see everyone as
I know.
fully actualized people with equal potential. Blah, bullshit.
Indeed, Paolo. Only self-gratification. That is true. Yeah, that's... Anyway.
Well, that's what the internet was built on, self-gratification.
Yep, the internet is for porn.
And Happy New Year walked. I'm just too lazy to type.
Yeah.
And 2000, my not resolution, but 2019 is for working for myself and making money again and getting off the fucking welfare.
Those are good goals.
Good goals.
Yeah. And getting off the welfare.
I wish you well.
I wish you all the luck with that, mate. I really do. Well, I decided more or less that I wanted to go back a little bit to my old YouTube career ideas, trying to get feminists to discuss feminism with me.
Oh,
I've been very successful.
You said you weren't going to talk about that video because I've just watched it and it was cancer.
Well, I found it was fine. It was fine.
No, I mean, okay. Everything they complained about, like for instance, I hate going and reporting a sexual assault and being victim blamed, she said. She should try it from a man's perspective, trying to report a sexual attack. No, seriously, every single thing they complained about is 10 times worse for men.
Yeah, and they sure as hell won't throw in the term brave, right?
And I really hate this
Stunning
shit about childbearing, because that was fixed by men 200 fucking years ago. The improvements in childbirth, what do you call it? Women dying in childbirth were immensely improved over the last 200 years. We invented the forceps. Anesthetics were first used when Queen Victoria was giving birth, and it was like, oh, I don't want to. Shit, it hurts. Give me the drugs. Though I don't know if she said shit, it hurts.
Hey, Smirkus! You want to join too, mate?
You know, and it's like all these things. It's like they have been massively improved by men mostly, and then they're saying they're the reasons they need feminism. Give me a fucking break.
Did you see the glass blind spot? Is that right?
Yes, Glass Blind Spot. I haven't seen the last three.
Very good. Very. The last
he's
one.
Brilliant. I do like him.
No. He made one about this suffragettes and the whole idea of suffragettism or suffrage or whatever you fucking call that.
Sorry. Yeah, carry. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's basically about the history and that the female suffragettes was just the end point of a long, class struggle. Basically, that's what he called
it. Was the the Chartists started in the middle of the 19th century.
But I like the way he presents it anyway. Have a look at it. And the good thing is he's not really, even though he's very critical, he's not an anti-feminist.
The reason I wanted to, when you said the Glass Blind Spot, also, have you heard of Christy O'Misty?
No, is that Christiosity? No.
Christy O'Misty.
No idea.
Okay, well, she apparently was quite a successful YouTuber a few years ago, and then she went away, had kids, and a year or so ago, she came back.
All right.
And I was lucky enough to see her recommended to me right when she came back, so I didn't know who she was. She's very good. And she is doing videos on the history of feminism and started with the suffragettes and the suffragists, which is bang in what you were just talking about from the Glass Blind Spot. And she, I actually posted one of them on my Facebook page, but you don't do Facebook, because she's brilliant insofar as it's like she's really thorough, she does great research, and yet she has a very simple way of putting things that's both insightful and understandable. Can't recommend her highly enough. So it's Christy, Christy, 0 Misty, and it's all squished together.
Okay, I found her channel anyway. Yeah, she's 10k views. She's out of reach. She's one of the. She's already in the goddess.
Well, she is awesome. Is all I'm saying. She just has that. It's like she says things very simply, but she's very intelligent, which is a very hard mix to do.
So let's go back to personal stuff. How have your years been? How have your 2018? Hey, Smirkus. How has 2018 been for you?
For me? Well, it took me a long ass fucking time to finish that table, but it's finally done.
I saw it. It's a piece of art.
Hi, Smirkus and Joz.
Hey guys, how are we doing today?
So now I have another order coming up for a table like that as well.
Cool.
That's cool. Who came up with the inscription on it? Is that cut out in wood as well? It's like a
it's the prisoners of war missing in action flag.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how you did that part, Smirkus, because I had the same question.
That's the inscription.
And
how is that the black part? Is that on the wood? Did you burn it on the wood? You carved it?
No, it's just paint. And the letter, everything that's white inside the black, that's carved out.
Smirkus.
Okay.
Go with. I'll find the picture.
Yeah, that table is nice.
Yep. Yeah, lucky doesn't live
from.
It just looks like it would be
remembering. It's remembering veterans after World War or after the Vietnam War, I believe.
Yep.
What does it say? Pau Maya?
Pau Maya. Yeah. Prisoners of war missed in action. You are not forgotten.
Very cool. Is that under a glass kind of pane, or is it very shiny, or is it just like a?
No, it's very vague photo, but it's resin.
It's acrylic resin.
Resin, yeah. Nice. Cool.
Only thing is, it didn't really harden out as we'd hoped, so we might have to redo it.
You can put another resin on top. You have to sand it down for that, or you just put another one on top.
I don't know yet. I don't know.
You can put another one on top, Smirkus. You just have to make sure it's nice and clean. But you can send it down with like a 3000, just to scuffle it, and it'll come out nice and clear again.
Cool.
I was going to say, my next door neighbour called her daughter Mia.
Ah.
Spelled like that, and I immediately thought missing in action.
Yeah.
That'll be my thought exactly. So how was everybody's actually year? We heard about Smirkus taking a long time to finish his damn table.
Well, the guy is a positive whirlwind compared to me. I have done nothing.
No, you know what I did today? Sorry, go on. Sorry.
No, I'll just say in January I buried my wife.
I'm
and
sorry,
I've
guys.
done nothing
Yeah,
since
so that was still this year. I thought it was longer ago. Wow.
I need
Yeah,
to
well, that's-
interrupt you for a second because there's something happening in the chat that is very important. Warped Reflection said, my son and his wife were given a bench for their wedding with the message from everyone. My daughter-in-law's gay friend is women rights are human rights. He said it's for any future doctors. I hope they disowned that friend.
Yeah. Well, I have a T-shirt.
No, I
which
would
says,
just say
men's rights are human rights.
No, exactly. Just it's all fine. Just add and men's too. That's just like
It
that's
should
the
be men
upgrade.
and women's rights.
Yeah, but you could, and then you don't have to destroy the existing message. Just
No,
add,
you
add
just
men's
put men
too.
and. So you put the men in front.
Yeah,
men
but you
and.
can't do that anymore because it's already on the thing. But you could add that sentence. It's much more elegant than redoing the whole thing from scratch. Do you agree?
I'm confused. I don't.
You just add a sentence. Is that so hard to understand?
or 2 words at the start.
Yeah, no, you can't do that because it's already on the bench. Jesus.
Well, it depends how it's positioned.
No, it's not like a computer where you can just like, okay, insert cursor here and add a few letters. Like, it's not like that. I thought it's more elegant if you can add something and then kind of subvert the whole thing and give it a twist. But anyway, Davey asked whether I rescued small animals, and I tried. I really tried. But our second goat died today, so I'm really sorry.
Oh,
I had
I'm
the
sorry.
vet there, and she wasn't doing so well. I mean, we only got them as hand-me-downs. Like, they were old two sister goats, right? They're 11 years
Hand-me-down
old.
goats.
Probably 99 in goats years, but
This living creatures.
yeah, they are. And so I had the vet in, and she gave her, it was really sad. She gave her like some glucose solution, gave her some antibiotics, and she, her liver was shutting down, obviously, yellow in the eye, that's a bad sign. So I made her a hot water bottle and put a blanket on top of her, and then I went inside, get the second hot water bottle, and I come out again, and she stopped breathing. That's sad.
I'm sorry to hear that, mate. I'm sorry to hear that.
She was old anyway, but it's always sad.
It's a circle of life.
Yeah, it is. There's so much of that going around, sorry for bringing up a goat, John. When you said you had to bury your wife, that's not good. But you
No. I mean, death happens.
I know.
No, it's more the grieving process has taken longer than I anticipated.
Is there a set time for that, though?
I didn't say expected, I said anticipated, as in,
That shit can last forever, man.
Well, it seems to be at the
it's
moment.
the thing, yeah.
So my New Year's resolution is to actually do anything. Something as in anything, because I haven't done anything for about 10, 11 months.
And you made some YouTube videos,
out of
and you
that.
come to hang out here a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just air. Hot air.
This is air.
Man, I'm trying to turn this
Can't argue
positive, but nah.
No. Please. No positivity. I don't want any self-delusions. I have to own how, what's the word? Static. Sedentary I can be.
So I did it. It was really funny. What I did last year, I was on welfare as well for a year, and then I made a course, a back to work enterprise allowance course. So that's grand. And I couldn't, for the life of me, decide whether I'm going to be a music producer that earns no money, or like a happy music producer, or a sad software developer that makes some money. So I decided I'll do both. Fuck it. They don't judge me, they just, it's great when you start measuring stuff in money. It doesn't matter what you do. They actually said, do whatever the fuck you like to do, just earn money, So right. I got actually the permission from the welfare guys to now earn money, which is great.
You need permission to make money again? What the fuck?
Well, here's the thing, like, it's, if it's like that, you don't know when you're in the welfare machine. Can you get a tiny job? 1 day a week, €100, $100, whatever. Will they take that away from you? How much are you allowed to do? So they have this thing called, not means tested, something like it. You have a sheet you fill out where you work for somebody else 1 day a week, and you cross off the days, and that's fine. That's better than being on the actual dole, because at least you're doing something. So I made the course, and I finished the course. I created a business plan, everything fine, everything hunky dory, and then I had submitted the plan just 1 or 2 weeks before Christmas. Everything looked great. My counselor rang me. Yeah, your business plan looks good. It's very likely it's going to be accepted. 1 day later, I get a phone call. There's a new from some woman from welfare, and she says, there's a rule. You cannot have worked more than 30 days within the years, the 1 year before you become self-employed, But if you work more than 30 years, you're not eligible for this, So I said, well, fuck that, I better ring welfare office and see how many days I worked last year, and I was kind of freaking out, and it was 49 days, so fine. So
sorry, you said 30 years. You didn't mean
30 days. 30 days in 1 year.
Sorry. I thought 30 years. I've been working for 30 years.
No. 30 days, right? But it's kind of funny because if you work more than 30 days within 1 year, that's basically 2 months of doing 1 day per week, or maybe 1.5 months. And if you don't do that, then we're not going to help you open a business because, man, you haven't been lazy enough. You know how that works, It's fucking bullshit. It's like, and so how would I be eligible? Oh yeah, you just have to go back to being on welfare and despair for another 5 months and do nothing, sit on your thumbs and twiddle.
Can anybody
fucking stupid?
Give the Irish a bad name. In Britain, it's the opposite.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's like as soon as you want to sign on, you have to go mental, spending all your energy looking for work, which means that you can't actually do anything.
Yeah, but that's why it's called
to improve yourself on the side. Because
you guys call it
running around doing interviews and.
Do you guys call it job seekers allowance as well? Yeah.
We do have one apparently.
It used to be called dole, but now it's called job seekers allowance. So they want to make very clear that you are actually, whatever you're doing, your only purpose is to seek a job, which means work for the man. Yeah.
Well, this is why I'm not seen signed on. Because I have no intention of looking for a job.
You're just being honest. That's it. You're just being honest. And me, I had some mental problems. I couldn't do full-time work. But the whole thing about job seekers is that, yes, you have to do full-time work. Yes, you have to basically look for work where you do your 40 or 38 hours if you're lucky, your 2 hours of commute every day. And have you seen this movie with John Voight? He's a prisoner. He's escaped from prison. He's Angelina Jolie's father, and they're on this train through winter, basically. Have you seen that movie?
I don't think so.
It's amazing. He makes this little speech, and he says basically, if you can do this, you go to this place where you work in this restaurant, and you bring the plate to your man, and the guy says, oh, that plate isn't. it's fucking, it's not, it's just not clean, you know, whatever. And he spits on your shoe and whatever. And you say, yes, I will clean it, you know, and you basically submit to this job, you know, you just want to keep this job and you just do it and you just work for the man. And the guy said,
guys, just in case you can hear me.
Yeah,
we can hear you. And
talking so much that it's like,
yeah, that's okay. I'm almost finished. I'm just trying to find the name of the movie. But he said basically he couldn't do that, and that's why he ended up in prison. And he said to the other ex-convict, which was a young guy, he said, well, you can do this, and that's why I totally envy you. You can actually do this. You can work for the man. You can, demean yourself.
It's not enviable. It is not enviable.
It is enviable.
No, it's not enviable.
It's both. It's both.
But I'm at that point. This is the problem because all my jobs I have struggled with. But in the last year of Caroline's life, I was her carer. That was my job.
Oh, okay.
And so obviously it was like non-regular hours, shall we say, but a good working environment, mostly, when she wasn't in a hospital. And the problem is for a start, I couldn't take a full-time job because I've been out of work for so long now. Even straight away, I couldn't. So it's like, what do I apply for? I don't have the sorts of skills that go for a part-time job. My skills tend to be full-time, and I literally couldn't do one. So I just don't bother.
Sorry? Didn't hear the last thing you said.
I'm just saying, I literally couldn't do a full-time job. There's no way I'd go somewhere and work 8 hours a day from scratch. Yeah, because if people have been sick a long time, they don't go back to work full-time. They go back gradually in a phase. Yeah. And I'm effectively in that situation. So if the government says, right, well, we need you to work, it's like, okay, who's going to take me on as a new employee but phase me into work as if I've been off sick?
Yeah, of course, yeah. But I kind of, what's similar with me is I had the advantage that since working in IT, I had the advantage of I could mostly work from home. So I wasn't expected to commute a lot, you know. So and it's kind of makes you, it's kind of good because I had the kids at home and everything, you know, so they were used to having a dad, you know. Yeah. But I just couldn't get into that frame of mind of, you know, get in the car when it's, especially winter, you know, get in the car when it's dark, go drive to work, spend miserable time in crazy traffic, then do your work 8 hours, be forced to take an hour lunch break as well, then go back home, drive into the darkness and get out of your car when it's dark. You know, this kind of fucking work is life is that? It's just
having like great bosses who don't appreciate you.
You experience nights, you know, you have nights, evenings, nightly mornings, and then you have work inside a building with possibly no view on it, with no windows. Just like you might as well live underground like a mole or something, you know. Anyway, the movie I was talking about was Runaway Train. Have you seen it?
I've heard of it.
It's an amazing movie. Amazing. Watch his monologue. But I found that I got to that point where I said, I just don't want to work as I don't want to be employee anymore, you know.
Well,
I am responsible for your own shit, you know.
I'm there too. And the funny thing is, if you actually eliminate the cost of working, you know, like
still a lot cheaper.
You say you realize how much of what you're going to work for to pay for is actually paying to be able to afford to go to work.
Totally. Get a new car to get the new job. Get the new job to get the new car. That's what you basically do.
Yeah. I had a saying like that too back when I was smoking a lot of weed. It was like, I smoke weed because I'm depressed, but I'm depressed because I smoke weed.
Yeah.
vicious circle, but I'm sure you can be happy with it. The one thing that you get from it, though, when you work for an employee position, is that routine. Routine.
That's
stability.
a bad thing. Personally speaking, I hate routine. The longer it goes, I just can't. Anything that's regular, it's like I could do a week, maybe 2, and then I just lose all will to live.
But here's the thing with routine. I mean, it's a bit of a luxury, I mean, you go back to like times and either like a lot less stable times or go into a war zone. People will be crying out for routine there. You don't know.
But it's like everything else.
Water tomorrow? Are we
it's
going
like
to have
everything else.
Power? Yeah.
No, but it's like everything else, though. It's what you don't have.
Yeah.
So if you only have routine, it's mind-numbing, soul-destroying. Yeah. And if you have no routine, if everything's chaotic, you wish for routine. It's like you need a bit of routine, but not too much.
Yeah, I get that.
Hello.
Hello, Alicia. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. How are you holding up?
I am a soldier.
Yeah.
You are.
I'm a soldier. I'm good. I've had lots of time to process, and making the video kind of heals you because you watch it so many times when you're making it that it naturally starts pulling out all your emotions. So I'm good. I'm good. I came for the political.
I thought you said something about the French police. Was that? Did I miss a stream or something? I thought this one was about the French police, not about the New Year.
That was last week, mate.
Yeah, that was last week. Okay, I'm behind the curve. Sorry.
And there was hardly anyone there last week. There was Mod and me and about 2 people viewing, I think.
Yeah, that was quite. But then again, it was Christmas and all that. Well, nearly anyway. And today, I wanted to have a small talk. As usually, we ramble on about a lot of things, but more or less about the coming year, what we will try to achieve ourselves, how we see ourselves in this world.
That makes it different. I just hope I can make more tables.
Yeah, that's cool. Make more tables. That's a really good plan. Here's the thing. There's one thing I learned. I know I'm only doing these courses right now, for mixing, music mixing. But they actually make more is a good point. Don't make high-end stuff necessarily. Just make more because you're really gonna get good at it. They had a pottery class and they divided in two groups, right? One group was doing, you make as many pots as you can, make all these pots, doesn't matter how wonky they are, you make 10 pots, 20 pots, 30 pots, put them in the burner, in the kiln every night, every evening, and then at the end of the semester see what you like. And then there was the other group that you make really nice high-end pots, it doesn't matter how many you make, you take 3 days, you take a whole week for a pot, but they're really nice, and then at the end of the day, at the end of the semester, they put the results together, and those guys who did all the many pots, no matter what the fucking quality was, their pots were actually better looking than the ones with the high quality. Because they just made many, and you have to allow yourself, okay, make a lot of shit first, It's the same with YouTube videos. You make a lot of shit videos first, and then you make the really good ones.
Well,
you don't start with the good ones. You don't start with good ones. It's just not. It just doesn't work that way, You don't make like a lot. You record one song and it's number one, it's top of the pops, whatever.
You do an X Factor, one number one, and then obscurity forever.
That's bullshit. Like that's not one person doing it. That's the whole production.
No, I'm saying though, but that's start
bullshit.
at the top and then quick descent into obscurity forever.
Welcome back, Josh.
Yeah. But that's not the way. The thing about craft, the whole thing about a craft, like what Smirkus does, right? Carpentry, right? The whole thing about a craft is that there's a grinding aspect to it. You grind and you get good.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But that's everywhere. It's the same with music production, you know. It's just exactly the same. It's just like you make a lot of like shit mixes, and you think you're good, and you're shit. Like, you know, you listen after a year, you look at the stuff you made a year ago, and you say that's really shit, you know. But okay, you know, you had to go through the phase.
Yeah. But the trick is not to be a perfectionist, but to
finish stuff. That's
no. The thing is to look at your mistakes, to be aware of making mistakes, not fret about it, but just be aware so that you can then do it without that mistake, and then you do the next one without another mistake. You see what I'm saying? It's like
sure. But you don't even have to be that conscious about it, you know. You will get better no matter what, even if you're not applying a method, even if you're not reflecting on it. You will get better by doing it. It's a marvelous thing. Like you play the piano every day, and you don't have a great teacher or whatever. You play every day, and you teach yourself, and you will get better.
Good.
It's really funny. Without even looking back, you just get better, you know, by just doing. And I think that's one of the things with the one problem with taxes and welfare and anything that the state is involved in. It all gets so fucking complicated. You just can't just like I do and you know I sell and whatever, you know.
That's what you were talking about with the welfare, wasn't it?
Yes, it puts up these mind blocks, you know.
It's like, making it too complicated.
Yeah.
Because
Am I
their objectives are not. Their objectives are. They're good intentions.
Yeah.
In fact, I was thinking along these lines. You know that saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
With good intentions, yeah.
And that sums up government.
Yeah. See, the problem is you can't live off intentions. We made a course, you know, for the back to work. This guy is a self-made man. He basically taught us how to make a business. And the first thing what he said is like, you have to allow yourself. Sorry?
Sorry? Just everyone else.
You have to allow yourself to be good to yourself, you know. You have to allow yourself to make money. And a lot of people kind of underprice themselves because they think, oh, yeah, I don't deserve more. And it comes from like a place where it's not even altruism. I don't know what it is. It's kind of holding people back, you know.
It's an sense of guilt created by all these, you know, people like the bloody feminists going, oh, these people are all getting all this money and we're not.
Yeah.
Rather than
it's jealousy or greed or something, is it not?
Yeah. Rather than pushing the work and being like that, like the successful people, and therefore being the successful person, they'd rather sit around and moan about it.
Yeah, but here's what's really cool. He said, like, one of the principles was that if you have a business, and I think that could apply to anything in life, you have a choice of what kind of a business you have. There's three types, you know. There's break even, there's a lossy one that makes loss, and there's one that makes profit. And you can decide yourself which one you have, you know. So you can consciously decide, I'm going to have a business, but I'm going to charge not enough, so I'm going to work 80 hours, and I'm going to, at the end of the week, I'm going to make a loss. And you decide that yourself by just setting a price, you know. You decide it.
Discussing price with my friends for those tables, and then we came to like 200 something euros.
Yeah.
And so we called up the new guy that also wants a table.
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You can sell that. You can sell that for like 300 euros, man." People.
But that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand the demand curve.
Yeah.
Because I studied economics, and most people don't understand the demand curve. So it's like if you go buy a mass-produced thing, they're working quite low on the demand curve because they're dealing in higher volumes.
Yeah.
But the more people, the more of a craftsman you are, the more you're going left on the demand curve, which means you can charge a lot more because your market's a lot smaller.
Most of the whole table is done by hand as well. So.
Yeah. So what you have to see is that your 200 euro price point would probably be something for a mass-produced thing. But another thing that the guy taught us as well is that if you work on your own, you don't have any employees, you just work on your own, it doesn't take an awful lot of work to keep you occupied. You don't need that many jobs. You know, you might need 10 jobs, 20 jobs a year, and you're done. But you charge the proper price for it, and you'll be happy with it. It doesn't actually take it. It's the other way around. The available work will always fill the available time. So if you say I'll work, let's say 40 hours a week, then no matter whether you take 2 jobs or 4 jobs, it will fill up the 40 hours.
Yeah,
that's an amazing thing. I didn't know that, but it basically fills up the hours. And if you only have 1 job, it will also fill up the 40 hours. It'll just fill it up. It'll just take it. So you have to basically decide, I'm going to work so many hours and I'm going to do so many jobs, and that's the money I want for it, and that's your baseline.
But again, this is the problem with a culture based on like a 40-hour week or 35-hour week, is that sets an expectation, and it takes a lot for most people to break themselves out of that expectation.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck with in my mind that you need to fucking work 40 hours a week at least. Yeah.
No.
And in the Netherlands, it's more like, what is it, Modwain? 36, 32 hours?
It's, The way that if you do a business, you calculate it, you have to calculate it on 38 or 36 hours, but also you have to calculate it at 46 weeks a year. You have to give yourself 6 weeks off. So
6 weeks, continental holidays.
6
weeks.
6 weeks you have to, if you have a business, you have to have 6 weeks of holidays, because if you count, you have 20 days of holidays by law, but then you have 9 or 10 public holidays as well. That's your 6 weeks. So you calculate 46 weeks, 46 weeks of work. And then your whatever your outgoings are, and your yearly expense against those 36 hours, and that's what you have to charge per hour, and you'll get to about between 25 and 30 euros an hour if you're self-employed. You have to basically charge more than if you're employed with somebody else. If you're employed with somebody else, they swallow the cost. They swallow the cost or the standing. You think about they swallow the cost of your holiday as well. But if you're self-employed, you have to fund all that yourself, and that's an extra between 5 and 10 euros per hour you have to put on top when you're self-employed. That's it. It's very simple.
But that's the whole thing with the difference between. It's like
you're a business. You're not a single person. You're a business.
No. But I work for a construction company for a variety of reasons. Most people worked as contractors, not as employees, and therefore the rate was much higher as a result, because like you say, all those things which go in.
But the thing is, with our course, you are not allowed to work as a contractor when you're self-employed, because that's not self-employed. You're still a slave. You have to directly bill the customer. Don't go in as a contractor, because that's still slave work.
No.
Just charge the guy directly.
No, I understand. The point is that you have a company, a construction company, and they want work.
Yeah, sure.
But they refuse to employ the workers. They will only contract the workers as self-employed under a contract, short-term contract.
Yeah, sure.
So if you want to work as, say, one of a team for building buildings, you can't do that as a single person, because you can't do the building, because there's a whole housing estate contracted to a company.
Well, then, you maybe not looking for the right job. Then you go door to door and find
that's
the
fine.
jobs.
I'm just saying there are types of work, and I was looking at it as somebody working in a company who were employing people this way. But I'm just saying that type of work, people were forced to be self-employed subcontractors, but the kind of work they did was not sustainable as an individual.
Well, self-employed, it's really in inverted commas. It's really not really self-employed. It's just, you're still
of course,
because somebody else is actually billing.
Of course. I agree. It's all a way the company uses to get out of a lot of the more recent financial obligation to people on its books, like pensions and
But so that's the nitty gritty. So for me, I decided, okay, I'm going to do contract work, like billing myself as a developer, 1 or 2 customers per month. That's it, no more. And then build up the recording studio and have do that. And I'm not. The good thing is I'm not under fucking pressure to get lots of clients, although. There is something to be said to get lots of clients in recording, because you get good, when you do lots of work,
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to do it like as a boutique kind of guy. I try to build a niche, for singer-songwriters,
But you don't want to get over committed either.
No, exactly. I don't want to get pissed off initially, and I want to build a name, a brand around it, And the other thing is, at the moment, I only have my home office / recording place, and it's not a great space. So I definitely this year also want to at least attack building a kind of a shed, a recording studio on my land, out where the old ruin the cottages on the corner of my side, and build a little block hut, or a log cabin or something for recording. And then
cabin, that sounds expensive.
The log cabin sounds expensive, but I kind of prefer it to, I could get a metal container or something, but I like wood. I like the thought of wood, something homely, something that
I was thinking more stone. Is there not stone where
I don't know. I mean, there is stone there, but it's a lot of work to kind of rebuild a stone kind of structure. And I'm not a fan of concrete blocks and stuff like that.
No. I was just thinking, because a lot of the old areas are like where I lived up in the north of England. It was all limestone.
Yeah.
Not limestone. It was a dark stone, a sort of granite maybe. And so you get all the houses in this thing, and of course, posh people would pay a fortune for that, but in centuries gone by, it was the convenient material, because that's what
if you have it. I mean, that's what you guys said as well, that everybody, like 50 70 80 years ago, every normal person would know how to build a house for themselves, literally. It's just most of the houses were built by the people themselves,
to be honest.
Not in Britain.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not allowed. I mean, if I had a piece of land, I could do it, but then I need permits. People again. Hey, but guys,
I think that
you've been talking about this for quite a while.
Okay.
So let's bring it back to something more.
2019.
Yes.
Well, did you see the Patreon? Did you see the Jordan Peterson, David Rubin, Why We're Quitting Patreon, the last video?
I haven't seen it. No, it's in my tool.
I've seen part of it. I didn't watch all of it because, in all fairness,
Jesus Christ, you're some wet rags. Come on.
No, I haven't watched anything.
Something, but.
Yeah, I mean, the upshot of it is they're definitely ready, so I think we should get in on that train. I love the thought of one big takeaway is everybody who has a MasterCard write to the guys and say, we don't really appreciate if you fuck about with what we want to buy.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be the ones that try to determine, for 2019, what kind of content we are allowed to purchase or fund with our MasterCard money.
The problem is as far as I understand it, so I've got a MasterCard, but it's a Tesco card. That is to say, none of us will have a contract with MasterCard. We'll have a contract with the bank, and the bank will have a contract with MasterCard.
True that.
And that level of indirection does cause problems.
Well, I have Visa cards, so I don't know.
I could complain
These
about.
are just as bad, but no, it is. The problem is because you don't have a. It's like if I want to know anything about my card and I go to MasterCard, all they do is redirect me to the bank.
Yep. Because you have a contract with your bank and
not them. They underwrite it, so to speak.
Yep. You can say, okay, you know what? I'm no longer going to buy the product from MasterCard, which is probably the only way you can actually make them think about that process.
I use PayPal. Very simple. Just tell them you use PayPal. You can lie.
Yeah, well, they're all as bad. This is the problem. You know, you hear PayPal are putting pressure on people. Visa do it. MasterCard do it. They're monopolies, and then worldwide monopolies or near monopolies.
Yeah, I understand that, but MasterCard, they are very close to the money. They directly seem to. I mean, you go to your bank and you tell them, "Give me a credit card, give me a debit card," and then they go through MasterCard, right? So that's a very, very. They don't say, "Oh, here's your PayPal card," So they're very close to the banks. So, if you say, "Oh, well, I have a MasterCard, but you know what? I'm not going to use you. You're not going to get my commission."
No, but this is my point. It's like, almost every credit card I've seen for the longest time is a MasterCard. I don't even see Visa much anymore.
Really? I have tons of Visa cards. I have not a single MasterCard.
Well, it depends. It depends, though. I mean, if you're with a bank that does more business with MasterCard, you're more likely to get MasterCard. If you're with a bank that's more doing business with Visa, you're more likely to get a Visa.
Exactly. Depends. I mean, that's just the banks that I work with.
Yeah.
No, it's just that every one I've looked at, it always comes up MasterCard for some reason. Maybe it's just a British thing where they sort of...
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, the British are the master race, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to find you that link, John.
No, don't worry.
I think it's called.
Anyway, guys,
the title is "Problems with Manpower."
Quite a while, and Alicia joined us a moment ago, as did Circus, and we haven't really heard much from them and from Juz. So let's
get their plans.
Oh, you guys talk so much. I figured I'd stay quiet over here in the corner.
Yeah, I think that's the same for
I'm going to read myself and do some listening.
That's all right.
You kind of need to learn to interject yourself into the conversation sometimes.
I try, but these two talking, you kidding me?
You just have to get to the level. You drink 2 beers and 2 glasses of whiskey, and you'll be fine.
I should be doing that. I did get a little bottle of Johnny Walker Black as Christmas present, which
the straw.
I'm gonna actually open it and start drinking it.
Jesus Christ! You haven't even opened it.
Dude, I have a 1 liter gold reserve. I haven't even touched it. I have it for like 8 months now. Was a gift for one of my clients back in Massachusetts as a go away present.
Nice.
It's a $300 bottle of scotch.
Ooh, don't waste that on the live stream.
Oh no, that is something that's for something else. How about my year? Let's see. I opened a company. I closed the company. I moved.
No, not your last year. 2019, because last year...
What are your plans?
Well, it's a good setup.
Well, 2019, in the last 2 days, I planned to do some work. I'm planning to open a wood crafting shop. Probably going to do some videos for that.
Just don't steal my idea.
I know
no.
You were talking about making videos where you were working with, what was it called? Resin.
I will be doing resin. Resin will be in it.
My wife is very interested in that.
Yeah. No, we can always chat about that. I'll be working with resin and wood. I do a lot of carpentry. I got into resin a couple years ago, and I started really practicing this year. So that'll be on the works. I'm working on buying a house. Luckily, they're cheap. They're about $20,000. So
wow, for 20,000.
Where's that?
I can't even get shit for that.
Jeez, where is that?
North Dakota.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's too long a drive to get to work from there.
It's debatable. I mean, you can buy a house with 15,000 square feet property and a 1,300 square feet How? Oh, 60. So
How much?
60.
I have a house which is on the first floor of a 3-floor building, because my downstairs neighbor has 1 floor, I have 2, and then I have a garden. I do not, and it's 120,000 euro.
I mean, did you say 15,000 square feet? That's the site, though, not just the house, is it?
No, 15, 1 5.
1,500, is it?
No, 15,000 square feet.
The site, not the house.
No, that's the property, yeah, not the house.
That's not bad.
No, the house is about 1,500
That's a
square
half
feet.
acre. That's a half acre.
It's fucking awesome.
I mean, in Ireland we work in acres. That's 4,000 square meters, and like times 9, that's your square foot. Then I don't know, 4,000.
I mean, if you want to just buy property, just the property, not the house, nothing on it, you can buy a half an acre for about $10,000.
Dear Lord, that is so cheap. In Utah, a tenth of an acre with a house is like close to 300,000 right now.
But you said the house, so that's planning permission and everything.
And maybe it's because no one wants to live in North Dakota, man.
Much more. I bought a property and I bought land in Texas, and I had the house built on it. I have, let's see, we're going to talk about acres. I think it's about square acres.
No, acres is squared.
An acre would be 36,000 square foot, if that helps.
Oh no, that's not even close to it. Nope. Now, the land that I own, it's square. It's 1.2 miles, something like that.
Big. That's big, man.
Yeah, I can put the
More than that.
I can put the UK airport inside my property. It still got space.
That's amazing. Never, just promise me never sell it.
Oh, I don't sell anything. I own properties everywhere for years, and I don't sell them. I have a house in Brazil. I got a house in Texas.
Nice.
I buy stuff. I don't sell it. I'm a hoarder.
Cool.
I haven't even sold my first car.
A hoarder.
I still own my first car that I bought when I came to the United States.
Wow. You must have good weather there. I mean, that would have rusted under my ass probably, but I still have my first piano, if that counts.
Nope,
Nice.
no. My car's nice, safety, and secured inside my storage warehouse that I have in my property in Texas.
Jesus, storage warehouse.
Dude,
Well,
if you
I
have
had-
land in Texas, why the fuck did you move to North Dakota? That's what I want to know.
Well, probably because it's cheap there.
Well, yeah, that too. I'm not going to sell the property in Texas, but when you live about an hour 45 minutes from the closest neighbor, which is the next town, it gets a little weird. So
Really? It's like Scotland, is it?
yeah,
People
kind of.
getting into wars because they're from the next door village. Where you fay?
Oh no, I do sell property. I bought a farmland in Ireland, and I sold it last year actually.
You must have made a killing. That the prices are exploding here.
I bought it for cheap and sold it for 10 times more than I paid for it.
Yeah, it's cool. There's a real bubble going on again. Like we had one the end of the 90s, but we were kind of lucky here with my house. We actually bought the house for 23,000 pounds. There was still pounds then. And I got the extra 3/4 acre at the back for another $3,000, So 26,000, not bad.
Nice.
For the bungalow, 1.6 acres. So yeah, I'm really happy with it.
Sorry, I'm going to interject. Sorry, if I interject. Pounds? Pounds?
What?
Where did you buy it in the 1930s?
No, the 1998.
They were punts, not pounds.
Yeah, punts. Yeah, not pounds. Yeah, okay. I didn't want to complicate stuff, you know. People barely know that there's pounds, you know.
Hey, don't talk about different money, man, because then I'm gonna think that my German Denmarks are not worth anything.
There's no Daymarks for a while, you know. I remember my brother-in-law complaining about when they changed the Daymark to the euro, and he said, "There's no change; it's the same numbers, you know."
What are you talking about? I have German Denmarks.
Denmarks?
D-marks. Deutsche
marks.
D-mark, not Denmark. D-mark.
Yeah, German D-mark. Yeah, I got them. Well, a long time ago.
So you're gonna go into resins, right? So what are you gonna do? You're gonna make resins. You're gonna use resins. You're gonna sell resins.
Well, right now I'm just making little tiny ornaments because my mother owns a shop and she wants little things to sell. So I made a keychain, a little hanger for the car, a couple pendants, glow in the dark, shiny, glowy, and stuff like that. But most of the resin work I'll be doing is going to be tables and wall artwork.
Mm-hmm. So you're using upmarketing stuff like antique furniture, maybe even resining it, sealing them or something.
The tables are not going to be exactly like that. They're going to be like river images that I'm going to put into casting. And I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with the pianos.
So it's more like art, really.
Yes. It's just going to be very expensive tables. They're going to look very pretty.
And where are you going to sell those?
Probably online. Even though I do have some order for personalized tables over here. Mm-hmm. They wanted me to seal some family pictures on one of their coffee tables for their living room, and
it's cool.
I'm going to be doing that.
Yeah, if you can find some rich people that want to kind of, I have this thing, and it's a hand-me-down, and can you make it shiny, whatever, make it nice and durable? That's really nice.
Oh, dude, this is North Dakota. All they have is money.
Perfect.
Well, if everything's so cheap, then yeah.
That's what, I mean, that's the thing. Like you can scoff and say, "Oh, why North Dakota? Yeah, who cares?" And if you want to live, North Dakota is mostly countryside anyway, is it?
Yes, it is. That's why I tell Smirkers that if I decide to go to McDonald's, unlike most of the people, I have to drive to McDonald's for an hour to McDonald's and an hour back.
Yeah. So what? You know, you make your own meal, whatever. Get a woman to cook your meal.
That's right.
Go out and shoot some deer. You know, it's the best
when
meat
the
ever.
weather's nice, I do gardening. You know, when it's not winter, I have my own garden.
Nice. Yeah, me too. We actually made last year. We made 6 gallons of our own wine in Ireland. Right.
Ooh, sweet.
Not that sweet, but sweet enough. You know, you obviously have to.
Come on.
Maybe I should have used a different word, right, Marcus?
Yeah,
that's fine. No, but that was grown in polytunnel. You know, not outside. But I mean, global warming. You know, there's something to be said for it. You know, we had a very dry late spring in Ireland last year, so it's getting warmer.
Well, hey. I am also curious in Alicia because I'm glad that you came, and I haven't really said much because everyone else. So Alicia, how is your 2019 going to look like?
It's really good. I think the first video I'm going to post on YouTube is going to be more of a positive one, you know, showing positive male role models. I'm going to really focus in on deciding whether or not my efforts are going to even go into BitChute at all. I just don't like the fact that they don't have stats or anything. It's really bullshit. But CocoScope, my views are up, so I need to focus on that. And then obviously I'm doing a family trip in February to Las Vegas, and then I'm going to be flying out to Korea the end of August, 1st of September. And so when I get back, I'll be able to focus in on, I'm going to be recording all of my previous novels into audiobooks. and make
Thank
some,
you.
yeah, and make some book trailers so I can start making money again, and then I'm on the cusp of remonetizing my YouTube channel. I really need to get back up to, I'd like this time to have 10,000 subscribers before they delete my channel. That's my goal.
They're gonna delete your channel. Am I
Getting it back
missing
then.
something?
10,000 subscribers too, but all I'm getting is less subscribers. I lost another 20 subscribers. I don't know why.
Maybe you should open your big channel and close your little channel.
They did a purge. Did you see that? They purged through a lot of people because you have to realize, so I had a YouTube channel back before you had to have Gmail. So I actually have one of the oldest YouTube channels. It's still up. It's called Valkyrie BC.
Mm-hmm.
I can't access it. But so I think what YouTube did is I think they purged anybody from those old accounts. So that's what I'm assuming, because a lot of people got hit. I saw a lot of numbers down, but then I don't know. I just don't think that YouTube, I'm going to keep my YouTube just to start drawing people, but I really want to create a commercial for CocoScope and get people on over there. I think that that's going to be a really good platform for video sharing, but it just is a matter of getting, economically, what you want to do is you want to get the smaller channels on there first so that you can get the content not weighed down and you have a nice, vibrant choice of things to view.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and then, yeah, because I need to start making money again, obviously. I need a paycheck. I need a paycheck.
I bet everybody needs money.
Yeah.
Fortunately so.
Maybe I should go back to work.
I wish I didn't have to go to work, that I could make money with my YouTube thing. If I could make a full-time salary out of that, that would be nice, because now I have a lovely house here. Don't get me wrong. I really have a lovely house here.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I made money the most laziest way possible. I bought stocks and stuff.
Yeah, but then you have
Well,
to
if you have-
do that. You have to have some money to begin with, don't you?
Exactly. You need to have money, some intelligence, and some money to play with. Leftover money. But I envy. I kind of envy it and envy it not. Like it's because you can lose a lot of money with stocks as well. It's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was gonna do when I bought freaking a boatload of Bitcoin, and
When
something that 10 years later the freaking market went sky high. I'm like, yep, sell.
and you did. Good man. I sell in January 2017 or December 2016 was it? That's a high point. And
Yep.
I had $10 from one guy. I went to these Mozilla feast, those yearly things, because I was like reviewing Mozilla add-ons that time. So we got like flown over to Barcelona, not Barcelona, Brussels, and God, I can't remember this. It doesn't matter. But the guy said to me, "Oh, you got to get into Bitcoin." That was 2014, and he put this app on my phone, and he gave me $10. And I didn't keep track of it, but apparently that would have been like $1,000.
No.
And now it's 160. So it's still like.
What do you mean
160?
160?
Yeah, something like that. It's like, so it's still like 100.
Man, it fell.
Yeah, no, I'm not selling. I'm just going to sit on it. Doesn't matter. I don't need, what do I need $160 for? It's nothing, but I'm going to.
You should have sold it when it was $8,000.
Yeah, you should have, But I didn't,
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah.
I know I did.
I'm starting to hoard my points on mines. I have 85,000 there, and I can turn them into use if I want.
There you go.
Nice, I drop a video and I say, okay, put 5,000 views on it, but then you get the 5,000 views on mines, and then it translates maybe to 200 views on YouTube, because they don't count them that way.
At least you didn't do like a lot of people that bought a lot of Blizzard shares. It just hit the crapper.
It happens. You never know, right? You need inside information. But the thing is, I'm sitting on some really good ways of potential money. You know, I was doing for 9 years now. I told Alicia already, doing free add-ons on. Well, it started on Firefox, but now it's mostly Thunderbird. You know, mail add-ons, and there's like literally 10, 15,000 people using them, you know, or maybe not using them, but having them installed, you know. I don't know if they use them. So if I can convert those into paying customers, you know, that'd be my goal for 2019.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Just say, buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee, every one of you, every year. It's not the way it works, unfortunately, though. What I did is did it. You get a pro license, you buy me 2 coffees, tenner or, you know, whatever. And that's gonna be one part of, you know, the money for this year. Might as well, you know. It's fun.
It still sounds good.
It is good. It's just, it's very hard to convince people to pay for something that they got for free for years. That's the only problem.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Well, there's a difference between for free and for granted.
Yeah, you have to. The thing is, I made a lovely video on my last one, you know, for the third add-on I did, and made a lovely video. It's great, like, you know, I had worked on the version, on the new software version for 5 months. I was sitting on it since May, and I thought I really need to monetize it, but I can't do it while I'm on welfare, you know. And then I got the permission to earn money, right? So I said, okay, let's do it. And you know how many people saw the video out of the 16,000 that have the add-on installed? 90.
Mm.
Out of the 90, I've sold 5 licenses.
Mm.
You know, that's so I'm not doing it right yet. You know, it's still potential. You know, next time.
Just, you know, practice and make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'd say.
It's marketing. It's all marketing. You just convince.
I can't say much. When I opened my first company, I lost a lot of sleep. I lost a lot of time, and I definitely lost quite a bit of money too.
Yeah,
but
so I think,
you know.
Yeah. I think the thing is, you might have a good product, right? But you don't know how to sell it. So my advice to Modwain would be put more time into the marketing of it. You know. It's not just, okay, here's the video, take it or leave it. You actually have to hype it some way, you know. So you might have to go to other channels.
Huh? I mean, a lot of people say you should hype it, and I'm not quite sure how to do that.
Well, one way would be if you could go to other live streams and or, you know, get other people who have maybe a different audience from you and chill you and you chill them back, something like that. That's one way.
But it's
Another
also
way, obviously, is getting into the clickbait.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's the clickbait. Clickbait title, clickbait.
I mean, you know, clickbait has such
images.
a negative connotation, but if you look at, you know, I don't know what's your video title for tonight, you know, but let's say if you know what you're talking about, then you kind of try and catch an interesting angle, and you kind of publish that like 2 weeks, no, maybe 2 weeks, but maybe a couple of days beforehand, and, you know, put that implant that into people's heads, you know, that we're talking about X, you know. And you try to get it away from the completely vanilla kind of thing. I don't know what the title is for tonight's hangout, but you had plenty of hangouts that you title like, we're talking about this and that tonight, you know.
Well,
okay, you know, and you might have a really interesting conversation, you know, but yeah, it's not just about this and that, you know. It might have a lot more people you were interested in listening to it, but if you call it this and that, then, you know, I don't have time for this and that because I have a lot of this and that in my life anyway.
The problem is with clickbait, the number of times you watch a video and it's called X owns Y, and it's just a chat, and you think, well, there was no owning going on. And then it actually puts you off. So clickbait might gain interest, but you have to have some correlation between the title and the content and a certain quality to the content.
But it's all planning, though. I mean, obviously, you can't 100% control what people are saying on a live stream, but you can set the topic, right? And you can direct it. But then you have to kind of focus people towards the topic. And yeah, X owns Y is really formulaic at this stage, right? It's almost a meme. It's
but you know what I mean. It's like,
I know what you mean. It's clickbait and it doesn't deliver.
It's the point is when it says X owns Y, it is implying that there was a good argument made.
Yeah.
And when there's no argument made, I don't mean
drama.
they didn't have an argument. I just mean there was no argument made. That no case was put. It's like, well, that wasted 10 minutes of your life, and it actually makes you less inclined to return,
That's
not
true,
more.
But I mean, you won't return to that channel. That's true. So you can't lie.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But you can't do the opposite either and be super vague and say, yeah, we might talk about things and this and that. It's you're just not going to draw the crowd.
Indeed. I was just trying to introduce a little nuance to what you were saying. That's all.
Yeah, sure.
You are right. You need to market.
Yeah. So that wouldn't be my advice for Modwain for this, like for the Modwain's house kind of live stream.
The other problem you've got is you could go for the low common denominator. The blood sports type thing when that was popular, and and that's like fine if you want to do that sort of content. But some of us hate that sort of content, and if you want to do a different sort of content, it has, let's just say, a smaller audience.
Yeah, that's my problem, I guess.
Well, is it though?
Yeah,
I think you have the small.
The blood sports thing.
You have the small audience for a different reason, I think, Modwain, and it's really marketing.
Maybe. I mean, I like to think that the points I make are at least factual. But
that's okay. But I think you need to interest people for them, and I think that it's really hard to come up with a good title that just puts it into like 5 words, that point,
I also think you need a bit of something to distinguish yourself. There's a lot of good content at a middling level, and if you want to grow an audience, that it has to be a regular audience, and for it to be a regular audience, there needs to be something that makes them want to come back to you, as opposed to try something else. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So, naked women?
No. YouTube will ban it. No, not that sort of thing.
No, you gotta show tits and ass. Modwain, have somebody draw a naked picture of you and then just stand there with the naked picture. And
well, we can get our tits out without being banned.
Well, you can get away with it. Just look at AIU's Atheism is Unstoppable. He just his content is like 70% eye candy. It's just amazing.
Well, have you seen is it Goodfella? He does that. He has pictures of Korean women.
No, that's different. Like he does it in throwaway kind of. He just does a slideshow of stuff. Yeah. But you never go to Goodfella because of those. That's just.
Yeah.
I don't go to Goodfella anyway.
No, you guys have to. This is what you have to do for the new year. Think about this. Most of the channels I use, I don't follow anymore because their shit it was the same thing over and over again. Over and over again, and so you have to expand out, branch out. It's obviously time for a change, because I used to watch like Hunter Avalon. His stuff is so boring now. It's the same thing over and over again. I think it really, you find what your message is, and then follow your message and find a way of selling it in a new way. Get a little bit better at it with each video, and it'll naturally come.
Something, because that's the kind of thing I was trying to get at in a bad way. You put it, is you need something that'll draw people for what they'll get with you that they won't get anywhere else. Something a bit extra.
Yeah, because like I'm sorry, Argon of a Cod is getting a little bit stale. Sorry, did you hear Drusilla? I tried to mute it when I heard her.
It sounded like a torture.
No, she's the phase where she's pretending to be monsters now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, like, so my first video, the first video of the year, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be put together. It's going to be heartfelt. The last video I did of the year, I thought it's doing pretty well for my small channel, obviously, you know, but I have to mute this shit now.
Come on, keep talking. We'll power through. Oh, she really muted herself. Oh, sorry, Alicia. I shouldn't have mentioned that somebody's torturing kids in the background. She is loud. She is loud.
I don't know that. Do you know that thing that happened a few weeks ago where that guy was streaming and his girl was throwing things at him, and then he goes off camera and it sounds like he slaps her?
Yep. Well, he did he not?
Yeah, but that's not my point. The point is, it doesn't matter. It got attention.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm not going to.
That's not the type of thing you want to.
And Alicia's kick is torturing her granddaughter.
No, you don't. You don't really want to suggest that to Alicia. No. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Go on.
Not right now. Real Raven. He sadly he was the first person that I spoke to because I asked him to clean something up for me. And I'm sure it was really hard for him because he's part of it.
Good job.
You did a great job, but I said that because you were the only person I knew that could do it, you were in the thick of my emotional breakdown of figuring out what happened that night, and I'll probably use you again with the 911.
That's okay. I can take it.
No,
Yeah.
Big boy.
To go back to your advice on my channel, so I should show more tits and ass.
Get your shirt off, mate.
That's what
Turn
you
the
need.
heating up.
Nice
Take your shirt off.
That's what you're talking about. Blue tits and ass. Very good.
Yeah. But paint yourself like in Woad.
No, I think this one's perfect. You can't really improve that.
Tits and ass, yeah, there you have it.
Love it.
I'll use it someday. Well, not this one.
That's easy to understand, you know. That's a message there, right there. I even love the color scheme.
Yeah, the color scheme is not bad. It's not my color scheme though. Mine is red and yellow.
It's orange.
But I was planning on doing a green screen sort of thing, and then wear full Rus Viking outfit, and
Cool.
show myself like that.
That'd be sexy. You know what else I wanted to do, you guys? If you're serious about helping CocoScope, I literally am going to push that because my numbers on CocoScope, like comparatively, are stronger and growing fast. Well, I had a good bump the last 3 days because I haven't posted. So apparently, I need to not post to get views. Apparently, but
yeah, don't overfeed people. You know, be a bit precious.
No, it was the SJW skit. I put a lot into that blue wig shit. Okay, all right.
All right.
I know. I don't know if you guys watched my last video, but I did the blue wig thing. It wasn't very good acting.
Yeah, I
but
saw that. Yeah, that was amazing.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
I only have 15 subscribers, so I'm way smaller than you are, to be honest.
Well, what I want to do, this is what I want to do, is I want to form a coalition of smaller YouTubers on CocoScope, form a group on minds.com where, you know, it's different people that we're solid about so that we can, you know, kind of give to give notice to share if it's something good. Because you don't want to be like sharing. Oh shit, I gotta take this call. Sorry guys.
That's all right.
That sounded like a very Christmassy ringtone there, didn't it?
I need to be AFK for a second too, guys. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
That's okay. So,
It's all right.
John and Raven can fill the time up.
No. I was just trying to put the spotlight on you, Just.
Go ahead. What's the question?
The question is, what are you going to do with your YouTube channels in 2019, if you do any content?
I don't know, 'cause I don't really do content like most people. I just put content out there, and you know, if people like it, watch it. If you don't, make a comment. I'm always trying to fix it up. I never thought of using YouTube as a financial source. It's interesting if I could, but
No, I mean that takes time. But I haven't watched your channel. So what kind of content?
right now there's only games in it.
All right, so it's gameplay, right?
Yes, I make a video of a game that I'm playing. I explain more or less how it goes.
Cool. So with
Smurfs will
commentary.
talk. Sometimes I'll just lose track of what I'm talking about, and I'll start talking about a bunch of other stuff. I get distracted easily.
That's cool.
I know the feeling.
But
I'm in one of his videos. Yay!
yeah,
And do you record your gameplay and upload it afterwards, or do you do live stream?
no, I just record it and upload it.
All right, that's cool.
I've done live stream for a while, but right now I don't have 2 screens, so it's kind of hard to work with that.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah. I'm always like, if I was gonna do streaming, then it'll turn into like Smirkers plays metal music and not pay attention to fuck all.
That sounds fun. If it's not metal
It's
music, I'd
problematic
work.
because if you're playing metal, then it's very likely going to be copyrighted as well.
Yeah,
I found the channel TechnoAct. He has a lot of royalty-free music.
That's cool.
Channel and Twitch doesn't care about copyright
It's
that
kind, of,
much.
it's kind of funny. I'm kind of trying to play only my own music, but that makes pose another problem. You can't really produce that much in such a short time. So I haven't posted in months.
Well, if I could make my hard drive from 20 years ago work, or find my old CDs, I can actually upload my own music, and you guys can play the living crap out of it. But
Yeah, you better find that shit, man. I'm intrigued.
I'll just play my 3 shitty songs all day long.
you wish I had 3 songs. You can. We used to play shows all the time. Actually, my first company was a promotion company.
I'll put it on a single called "Rehab Music for the Retarded."
And it was interesting because I built a band. I was the vocalist, and
cool.
I started booking the band, and I got too busy booking the band, so I found somebody to take my spot. And after about 10 shows, I got contacted by some college kids, and they wanted to be booked also. So I couldn't continue being a solo guy. I had to open a company because there were so many.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up with 16 different bands and an orchestra of 31 members also as part of the contract of my promotion company.
That's cool. So you really have a good hand at managing stuff. That's amazing.
Yeah. That was just about the same time I started being a bartender, which was 16 years old.
You managed 31 bands while being a bartender, and you were 16 years old.
Yeah. It was funny because I got contacted by accident by the owner of a club I used to go when I was 15, and he wanted me to manage his late night senior night. And someone there heard me singing one of the songs, which at the time was Frank Sinatra and Elvis. And he wanted me to go work at his bar, being a bartender, and sing some songs every now and then for the customers. And after that, a couple friends of mine and one of my customers decided, we should have a band. And so we made a band.
Cool.
And this was way before CDs were out.
Yeah.
This actually was way before CDs were invented.
Oh,
I guess that from the artist you quoted.
What do you mean?
Well,
No,
you said-
my band, we were singing before CDs were invented.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You mentioned those artists. Frank Sinatra and somebody?
Elvis.
Yeah, long before CDs were invented.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
my
70s,
band
alright.
also played before CDs were invented. We also dismantled the band before CDs were invented.
Cool.
I'm not the most age like most of you guys here.
No,
So
we're
you-
closer
you-
to you than you think.
You have some sound recordings, or maybe even like a VHS tape, if VHS was invented from that time. That would be fun.
I do
See
have
some-
some VHS. It's in storage in Texas because I didn't want it
The only trouble with VHS is it can degrade.
Yeah, well, that's true for nearly every way of.
It can if you don't clean it periodically. Every 5 years, I give it a alcohol bath to clean it up and be able to play it again. But I have over 10,000 VHS, so
Cool.
That's a lot of baths.
hey, movies were out in VHS before they were on DVDs. So
I know. I have many myself.
I have movies, anything from Blu-ray to reel. So
Yeah, reel to reel. I like that. Move it.
And I do like reel to reel as an audio medium. That's a nice format. It's lovely.
I do have
that takes me back.
Some of my best Frank Sinatra's on reel to reel.
Lovely. Have you got a deck, a Revox or something, a Tascam or
A what?
a reel to reel player?
I do. Actually, I have 6.
6. What kind? Tell me.
Well, he doesn't throw anything out, so.
These reel to reel. I'd love to have a reel to reel. Just a 2-track, a 1/4 inch would be fine, or 1/2 inch if I dare. Would be great.
I mean,
I have no idea what the hell you're all talking about.
Well, when I first got into
When you get into
hi-fi,
the specifics,
reel to reel was a
Just your-
big sneeze, the thing to aspire to.
like if you get into specifics, I get lost. But like reel to reel, I understand that.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
well, it depends, Smirkers. I mean, the one that I use the most is a Nagra.
Oh, that's a portable little device. That's really tasty.
Well, I do have that little one. I unfortunately I have only one Tape Sonic, so so I have to be careful because they're not cheap and people don't want to sell them to me cheap because they know what it is. Otherwise, I'd be buying it for cheaper. I think the cheapest Tape Sonic you can buy these days is like $1,500.
Wow. Damn. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like with the whole analog recording technology, right? It's just amazing. I do so much stuff with plugins, but I'd love to have some like analog hardware. You're looking at like, let's say, a compression unit, that makes stuff louder basically, or warms it up in some way. You're talking. Maybe you pay $200, $300 for the plugin, or maybe even $100. But then for the hardware, you pay $6,000.
Oh yeah,
Like
easily.
vintage, it's like,
Well, I got a lot of those equipments at my house in Texas because my house in Texas is off the grid. I have nothing connected to anything. Matter of fact, if you're inside my property, your cell phone won't even work.
That's cool.
I have solar panels, heated hot water, reservoir tanks, and I have my own sewage system with the filtration.
Warped Reflection was asking, how does your partner cope with your hoarding?
Well, let's see. The mother of my daughter, my 2 ex-wives, and no girlfriend right now. So yeah.
They didn't cope.
He was telling us about all his marriages the other week.
I have this piece of hardware, Raven.
Oh, let's look at this. Korg Electribe. So that looks like a drum machine or something, is it?
Yeah, there's a couple drum parts and a couple synth parts.
Yeah, right. Little mini workstation. It looks like.
And I only make like 220 BPM music on it, or 120.
Well, listen, is that just make believe there in the middle, or are those real valves? Are these valves?
What?
Yeah,
that's
the orange thing. It looks like valves.
I think they're compression tubes or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I mean, they're not real valves, is it? I mean, there's.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like. Is it? Yeah. Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
It's got some analog stuff in it. That's cool. I like it. I have some Korg keyboards, a DW8000 and a DS8. They're basically synths, but they're both kind of Benjacks. I actually gave away the DS8 to somebody. That's like a mini DX, like a half DX7 basically. But now I've got DX7 and all that stuff in plugins. It's expensive keyboards, but I'd love to have a Juno or some sort of a synth keyboard again, a proper one, analog. It's just such nice equipment,
That's not bad,
when I start, you know, to build the studio out there and putting the equipment in, the first thing is going to be microphones, 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 and microphones. You know, this is just loads of microphones. It's like, you know, oh, do you have
Not
any
connected to anything, just the
microphones?
microphones.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look,
It's like there's fucking 25 microphones, only one connected, you know.
No. Well, right now I could. I could connect 8 microphones at the same time, but I'm just going to get some AD, so I can do up to 24 then. But there's no point in connecting more than 8 because I wouldn't even fit a drum kit in my room, you know. Anyway, you know. But you know, it's not so hard to get many inputs nowadays. It's not that expensive, you know.
True.
The mics, like you get different kinds, but you know those favorite vocal mics, the Neumann. The U47 or something, they started vintage $6,000 or something, 6, 9, 10, 16 grand for one mic, you know.
Damn.
And damn, exactly, you know. So not going to go down that road, you know.
But
you get pretty good boutique mics from companies like Roswell, you know. They build them. They have like either built-in tubes or like specially wound technology transformers in them, you know. And they get pretty close, you know. And they're only $1,000 for a mic, you know. Only.
That's nothing.
It's nothing. It's like a present, you know. Except that if you think about it, if you want to mic up a drum kit, you need about 14.
Oh yeah.
Only $1,000 now. Yeah, let me make a choice: a microphone or a car. What do I need more? I need a microphone.
Definitely a microphone.
That's 14 grand right there.
When you have the microphone, you don't have to pay taxes for it. You don't have to fill it up with fuel. You know.
How big's your drum kit? 14 mics for a drum kit.
Yeah.
How big's your drum kit?
14
No,
pieces.
it's not about size, but look. You got 2 mics on the snare, one on the top, one on the bottom. You got 2 mics for the bass, for the kick drum, one on the front. Outside and on the inside. That's 4 mics. You get 1 mic for the snare. Sometimes you double mic them. You get 2 different mics, like tied together. Hold on, I was on the snare already. You get 2 or 3 mics for the toms. You get 2 overheads. They're on top. You get 1 for the hi-hat, and then you get 1 or 2 room mics back in the room to capture the room sound. So you easily get to that amount of tracks, you know, and then it's really hard to mix them together, you know. It's just like,
I'm gonna say, sounds overcomplicated.
It
Well,
is overcomplicated.
I know what he's talking about, but he's talking about a small drum set. Trust me, I worked with a guy. His drum set was 52 pieces. You want to imagine how many microphones we had in the damn room?
Oh my god! Absolute nightmare, you know. But
I'm sorry to do this. Considering it is nearly time to call it quits.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Oh, the only thing that I'm gonna do with my YouTube channel is make that video. I think for the veteran table with the story behind it and everything.
There you go.
For my YouTube.
I will get out of it. I really will. Because, it's a very cool project.
Mm.
So you really should make that video.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm just lazy and unmotivated.
Anyone else want to shield their stuff?
Now we're pretty much good.
Yeah, I would share. I mean, I have a website now, but I have no content on it yet, so it's too early. But it's gonna be songcraftstudio.com anyway, so that's what it's going to be.
Nice.
No, Songcraft Studios, because studio was gone. Yeah, studios, right.
Hey, you didn't mention that the last time.
Huh?
You didn't mention that the last time when you were talking about it.
Jeez, I'm really getting old. I don't remember shit that I said.
Yeah, you're getting old. Thank you.
And course,
yeah.
Well, from all the drinking.
I am going to say we're calling quits. So everyone in the chat, Malachite came late, but thank you for joining us, mate. Warped, you've been there for the longest time. Davey, Ludicrous, Davey. I already said Davey once. Nick, thank you all for joining. Yeah, they're all gone by now. But anyway, thank you all for joining us, and I hope to see you all next week. And I'll try to have a topic ready. And this is when I'm going to sign off. Guys, want to say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye.